After more than 10 years, this is the year I became a US citizen, and I very swiftly started getting more and more interested in Western wear and more American apparel. I felt like I'd earned the right to. I think there are a lot of interesting elements to the Western shirt that I think give it more crossover appeal than people give it credit for. So here today, I've assembled a panel of 3 brilliant people, well, 2 brilliant people and me, to talk about the Western shirt. And I'm really happy with this grouping because we kind of represent 3 different approaches to menswear. Like, I am just trying to do the lowest possible effort so that I look not bad. And then we have Peter here from Peter's Prism, the YouTube channel, which is called Style from a Gen X Lens. And Peter has a really good background in design and history and philosophy and all these things he combines together to have this really thoughtful approach to menswear. That's really cool. And then we have Nick-from-Denimscapes on Instagram, who is what you would call a denim head, which is yet another subculture in menswear where it's guys that tend to like more vintage cuts and extra Americana looks. Thanks to both of you guys for coming on the channel.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
This is a video about Western shirts for non-cowboys.
How do you know I'm not a cowboy?
I don't.
Well, we could be urban cowboys.
We could be other cowboys. The Western shirt, what is it?
Western shirt, I think, is going to have typically snap buttons, right? And it's going to have this kind of angular yoke. And oftentimes it's denim, sometimes it's flannel.
Yeah. And then you have some more hybrid kind of shirts like this. This is a very famous denim shirt it's a Western shirt because it's got snaps, even though there's no yoke here. Last week, I went to 3 ranches in a very, very, very rural Oklahoma.
Now that's a knife.
I was shooting a video for this leather goods brand made of feral swine that is coming out soon or is already out, badleathergoods.com. And what was cool is I spoke to a rancher and a biologist out there who invented a boar trap, and they both were wearing snap button Western shirts. And I was like, yes. The reinforced shoulders, it'll make you look like you've got like larger shoulders, and generally, even if you aren't like a super jacked dude, it's pretty flattering.
Yeah, I would say so.
The V shape or the slim fit is very, very flattering on a lot of body types. You know, every guy wants that V shape, and this shirt is going to get you there a little bit closer, a little bit faster.
I think in this case, you know, again, the reinforced shoulders and just the heavier material allows you to go maybe a little bit looser in the shoulders and then a little bit tighter as you go down, just to kind of create the illusion, in my case, of a V.
Then there's other things that Western shirts tend to be. And one thing that I found very interesting, as a millennial, I matriculated in the age of slimmer fits, and now in the 2020s, everyone likes to wear much looser fits. But the Western shirt, it's the last remaining refuge of the millennial slim fit. The slim fit and the snap buttons are both about not getting snagged on stuff. The Western guy's very, very concerned about not getting snagged on things.
Yeah, I mean, if I was riding a horse, you know, 30 miles an hour through the Wyoming Great Plains and, you know, caught on something and buttons on a denim shirt, that wouldn't go well.
They're much more durable than buttons that are sewn on.
You don't have to worry about them ripping out or sewing it back in.
Yeah.
That's a good point. This has the mother of pearl snaps, which you can't see all the detail, but they're beautiful.
Yeah, often the mother of pearl. Also, the snaps were because when you've been doing farm work all day and your hands are all like sore and tough and beat up, some farmers, they would report that it just was easier to put on and easy to take off relative to messing with buttons because their hands might be all stiff and gnarled. Fun fact about the snaps, this seems like something everyone wore in the Old West, but the snap was first put on a shirt about 80 years ago. And before the 40s, yeah, this was not a thing. You're probably thinking Arthur Morgan, you're thinking of 1880s, but no, this was not a thing until the 1940s, but we had plenty of ranching to do after.
So I have never been on a ranch or anywhere close to a ranch, but what I will say is what I love about the Western shirt and what I appreciate about it is that it pushes you, if you own one, to style yourself slightly differently in a way that's not the same way you would style any other shirt. So I appreciate that.
Let's talk about how to style Western shirts. This video, by the way, is sponsored by Huckberry.com, which is a great online menswear store that sells a lot of the same kind of stuff I cover on this channel, namely casual and durable and Americana kind of classic sorts of looks that are very versatile and timeless at the same time. So they do Western shirts. They own the company Flint & Tinder, which makes both this flannelly Western shirt and this denim one over here, which is covered in burnt bones and is made in the United States. But they also sell other brands that they don't own. So like Billy Reed's, this is like a really famous denim shirt, and it's a Western shirt, although it doesn't have the yokes, but like this is like a really well-known Western shirt that I was talking about like a few years ago on this channel, and now Huckberry sells it, which is handy. And they'll get a bunch of other Western shirts from other people as well as pants and boots and chuggers and loafers and all sorts of stuff that we've been talking about in this video. So I put a link to their stuff in the description below, and also, not everything we're wearing in this video is from Huckberry. That's like a nice thing about them. They don't mind that I got Nick over here and he has his very niche Japanese brand with his Western shirt. They're still happy to sponsor the video, which is nice. And thank you to Huckberry for sponsoring this video. Click that link below, please, and then I can make more nice videos. Let's talk about how to style Western shirts. To the guy who doesn't own a Western shirt, what are some of these looks that you think the Western shirt will unlock that he might not have thought about?
Well, so for example, I paired this with a mustard corduroy suit, which I would never in a million years think would work, but it worked for me.
Yeah, wearing a Western shirt in a slightly dressy way, or even, you know, a envelope pushing way,
Yeah.
it can be a surprisingly comfortable experience. I put Nick in one of my tweed sport jackets upstairs, and that's a very, very classic Ralph Lauren move. They're all outdoorsy fabrics, whether it's like tweed or denim or whatever, and mash them together into a business casual sort of look that would outrage like the royal family in the UK, which is what I share with Americans.
Totally.
That's one thing I like about becoming an American. As an Australian, we all just hate the British ruling class.
I feel like before putting the sport jacket on, I was a cowboy.
Yeah.
As soon as the sport jacket goes on, I can hear bebop jazz playing. You know, I'm a sophisticate, I'm urban professor, and it just has that kind of vibe to it.
The thing is, you could also walk around Waurika, Oklahoma, where I was, in that outfit with a tweed sports jacket, and no one would say, oh, this guy is dressed like an urban sophisticate. Do you think there's any way to wear a tie with a Western shirt if you don't have a bolo tie?
I wouldn't.
I mean, I'm not one to wear ties very much, so... I mean, Seattle is about as casual as it gets, but...
Yeah, I've seen some guys do ties with like a denim shirt, but I'm not sure if it's like with like a Western denim shirt.
I kind of feel like there's too much happening. Like if you've got a tie and then you've got all these details in the shirt, it just becomes a little too much.
Yeah, I know very little about ties. This sounds like casual wear.
Yeah, and I am not personally quite there yet, but I think some can really rock the handkerchief.
Yep.
The bandana. I think you were wearing one. Or
Yeah, that's a really good point. Why would one want to try and wear one of those?
Well, I think having a handkerchief around your neck at all times is very handy because you can wipe your brow with it, you can wipe your hands with it, it can come in handy if you need to, you know, mop up anything.
The idea is for it to catch the sweat coming off of your head, right?
I think so,
Your
yeah,
shirt,
originally.
Yeah, it soaks up your sweat so your shirt isn't quite as gross. All right.
Is there ever a scenario where you put it over your nose and tie it?
I could do that, yeah.
What jackets do you guys like with Western shirts?
So we mentioned canvas. So I have a Mr. Freedom duck canvas jacket that I love wearing with this sawtooth denim Western.
Yeah, I wore a canvas jacket with jeans and this shirt outside. Although it should have been a brown canvas jacket. I had a tan one, but whatever. Yeah, canvas and denim, they work together like perfectly. They're complementary weaves.
Yep.
It's a way to wear two hard-wearing fabrics that will age well, last forever, and they're both like, you know, thematically similar as like older and non-synthetic workwear. It's a really good way to keep that same level of casual without doing denim on denim if you're worried about that. But denim on denim maybe. It seems like if you're ever going to do that, the Western shirt is the way to do it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
The Canadian tuxedo, it's just pure cowboy.
You'd do that, wouldn't you?
I would not hesitate whatsoever. In fact, then you get fade everything all at once. So bonus.
If someone wants to do a lot of denim at once, should it be the same color denim? Should they all be different washes?
Honestly, I feel like once you've already gone double denim or triple denim, you're already outside the bounds of you know what you should or shouldn't do. With that said, if you wanted to look the least offensive, the most pleasing, I feel like kind of matching the same level of fade, or you could go like really faded pants with like a crisper shirt. But like doing a near miss where they're like...
Yes, yeah. If they're close but not close enough, then it's like it doesn't hit. What do you think, Peter?
It's kind of like wearing dark navy against black where you can't discern the two colors. It's a little bit, disconcerting.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like the idea of, kind of mixing materials. And so, wearing a, black leather jacket or, something like that is going to be really nice.
I have this leather jacket I was wearing upstairs, but it's a delivery jacket, which means it's a little bit longer than like the hip length sorts of jackets, like racer jackets and that sort of stuff. And I felt like maybe it was a little long.
I mean...
Do you have like a favorite kind of leather jacket you think would go well with a Western shirt?
I love a vintage buco, like the one I was wearing earlier. It's cropped, and so you're going to be right at the belt line. And I feel like that's a really classic look. And then it also takes the severity away from the black motorcycle jacket that's kind of a big statement. I feel like it kind of softens it a little bit by adding, something else.
I did something really similar to you where I took this kind of modernized version of a motorcycle jacket and then I paired it with the Western shirt. I like mixing the genres, like Ivy, preppy, motorcycle, Western.
It's all Americana.
It's all Americana, but putting it together in a different way is to me like styling gold.
What a good pants for Western shirts. Now we are talking about denim shirts and flannel shirts, so you'll get varying levels of controversial as far as what to wear with jeans.
So I spent a bit of time living in Arizona, and I also went horseback riding in Jackson Hole this summer in Grand Teton National Park. And our horseback riding guide had a shirt not dissimilar to this, snap buttons, Western yoke, everything else, flannel, and he had Wranglers. And I feel like that is sort of what I conjure up today as like the classic pairing is not just jeans, but Wranglers.
Yeah, 100%. The least pretentious thing to wear with a Western shirt might be Wrangler jeans. Personally, I know a lot of people do it differently, but I don't like tucking into jeans. If you're like a normal, an urban millennial, we didn't tuck anything in until like this decade, you know what I mean? But I quite like tucking a Western shirt into jeans.
Yeah, I like it too. I feel like the shape of the shirt and the way it fits lends itself really naturally to having it a little bit more pulled together.
Yeah. If someone doesn't want to do denim on denim, or they just have other stuff, what are some good pants to wear with this particular kind of casual shirt?
I like mixing fatigues with Western denim shirts.
Okay. What about chinos with a Western shirt?
Yeah.
How would you do it, Nick?
I mean, I think, in the case of a flannel, maybe finding a tone in here, like this would go really well with, a beige chino.
Chinos are a really funny place in menswear because they are workwear just like jeans, but they're military workwear, but like they're meant to be very, very casual pants. But over the years, many people see them as smart casual at a minimum and maybe even business casual and business professional. And they might think that wearing such a, we'll say, outdoorsy shirt with chinos might be incongruent, even if that isn't the case. But I saw someone say if the chinos are pretty loose fitting and if they have a pleat.
I guess I associate chinos less with workwear, which I know that they're obviously a part of, but more like the military officer.
It's interesting because a lot of us might think of, pleated pants, that's like something dressy, but actually the pleats are there so that the leg can expand more and allow for more movement. So pleats actually make something casual. So they actually dress down chinos.
Yeah.
Did we talk about corduroy?
No, that was going to be my next thing.
I think corduroy is a great pant fabric to pair with Western shirts, for sure.
I don't wear corduroy.
Why? Why don't you wear corduroy?
It's just like, what my unfashionable dad wore in the 90s. No offense, Dad, but...
I love corduroy. I don't have any corduroy, but, I think corduroy with a flannel, even if it's Western style, that's what I would wear to a Mudhoney concert back in the 90s in Seattle.
Footwear with a Western shirt. Obviously, boots are best. And I think laceless boots, because I don't have any cowboy boots myself, but when I was going around Oklahoma and Texas in my Western wear this week, I wore Chelsea boots with them. And it looked about right, And you had some engineer boots.
Yep.
I feel like a laceless boot, especially if it's a bit tapered, which is what Western boots tend to be.
Yeah.
It's just like a nice, uncomplicated vamp sticking out from under your pants. I feel like the most versatile boot is a good brown suede Chelsea. Actually, I did a video on a capsule wardrobe, and I was like, that's the one boot, brown suede Chelsea.
What about chukkas?
They're fine.
Okay.
Chukkas are okay. They're a summery boot. They go great with fatigues because that's durable and casual and also breezy, I think. With the more heavyweight kind of stuff like this, I wouldn't fault someone for wearing chukkas with them, but they wouldn't be my go-to boot.
I like mixing the genres like preppy and Western, so I love wearing loafers with stuff like this.
100%. Yeah, I don't have any problem with loafers. I'm probably not going to go full Carmina.
Flux cuff.
Yeah, but Alden, Leisure Handsome.
Like a nice American kind of loafer with a pretty wide toe, high sidewalls, that kind of thing.
Or brown suede loafer.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, a brown suede loafer with a that's not too tapered. That'll get you through a lot of fits.
I'll pretty much pair anything.
You'll do anything.
I will not wear sneakers with my Western shirt.
Good. Tell me why.
Well, especially athletic sneakers, like running sneakers. I don't know. It throws me off.
I know. Western shirts are an interesting one because you got to put a bit of thought into it if you're going to mix it with particularly modern things like the minimalist lifestyle white sneaker, that kind of stuff. I don't know. I was looking at my insane footwear collection, trying to come up with stuff to put on camera today, and I do have these brown suede sneakers from Luca. When I saw those, I was like, that's a sneaker that works with Western shirt and jeans. And I think brown suede is it's like the exact same kind of casual and hardy that Western shirts and denim are. It just is.
I'd agree with that. I want to say that if you're gonna buy this kind of shirt, that's like a very intentional choice. It's not a t-shirt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a Hanes 3-pack t-shirt situation. So personally, I would just not throw this on with just any random stuff in my closet. I would put a look together.
We gotta wrap this up. All right, that's our video on Western shirts. Do subscribe to this channel if you just went up here for more stuff on casual and durable menswear and footwear. Give Denimscapes a follow on Instagram if you enjoy the more denim head side of menswear or a slightly more vintage, heritage stuff, Americana. That's something that Nick focuses on a bit more. And then subscribe to Peter's if you're interested in more modern and thoughtful approaches to style that I would call, they will give you get an advanced degree in how to dress well if you check out Peter's channel.
Okay, I don't know about that, but
Okay, thanks for watching. Let us know what we missed in the comments below, and we'll catch you for the next video.